Ma yehwa joye me yehwa kwa bamra Asaasepa 107.3 ene wo mayi mra hyebedwa fie se Ghana fo ne be yadwe nche bia na Ghana de hye ko nakam ekoto aba epa o mampanyin foforo ene mra hyebedwa fo a obetimi asom 9th parliament 8th parliament no nyame ya adom anwumre na yede ni nyina eba na wie ni da kwan se emono nso no wotwe na yade se mra hyebedwa fie no ya hye enhyehyɛ ase a ye speaker na fe omo ayato aba apa wono yedo on to besi akunwa so age watum sa so dem e beka se bebo wosu na fe wa start wadwuma but anwumre mene honorable Dr. Dickson Adomako Kissi ewo ha ono ye former MP ma adehyewo Anyaa-Sowutwom and me ho but mame nka se wahye nkran ahye meden because akukoduro kra wanya ene atena se edi nkomo no wachire se wasom Ghana wasom na manfo wo Anyaa-Sowutwom no wachire se wonimde ewo ni team honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah ewo ha otafo mrahye bedwani no we deputy minister for local government for from Maidie wadaso ye kopem se ye be paw minister for ono so atena se omo ne mpanfo a ye no odi nkomo ewo Atumpan dwumadie so me ba cho se wo tamale e asase 99.7 so na wote yenka asase 107.3 ewon crime pumpuni mantamu Yankee FM ewo Sampa German North asase 103 wo Cape Coast Central Region asase 98.5 ewo Kumasi honyina otie nkambidin de Bonohene bafo ewo afe mame nko na memo mu adwo mame ni kan starting free honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah ho memo trinkwa na eno mate sei
nyame adom ye ho ye na pacho na so
nyame e dia fam ye
ene ye chen enra nti ye dia sedebe mu Nyankopon na bibia me opportunity say ade ba ko aya meka a me pese be de kai amansan Ghana for doc wa ono do a medical doctor and you will attest to what I'm going to say say oye nipa na ye ka so hwene say when you are unable to breathe hona hunu say Nyankopon home no de amaye no aya chade
okay
is one of the biggest grace and gifts from God. So Nyankopon ema sa nkwa we no ma sa chedi we ya ade chenwa aseda nkwa ne de bema no enu nti no we give praise to him won pempenso a ode yaba bedre migidi say the wasa ya ma yenso no with the renewal of our mandate no so no and also so yede na asienso obema Nyankopon owo de waye de amaye.
Right, and I feeling it to say
well, it's a mixed feeling. It's a mixed feeling because I have very good friends who are not joining me in the 9th Parliament. People that I feel that ordinarily they should not leave Parliament now. People that I feel that they've learned, some of them even much than arts, and competing media boy on the in the 9th Parliament. Unfortunately, we are not going to find them. Until many a bit of mixed feelings. I think that the party is watching and the party is going to learn from it, where there should be a time I know say chairman sir a majority leader na me nyan wura mahebedwam no and a woman ni so say me pese me wura mahebedwam binya te say o say chairman sir ka say oh yen retaining members of parliament to be bebre no especially those with the prospects to be able to improve omo betumi aboa party no mrante ne maba wo mu omo no omo future ohwe a we mu ye ja omo they can learn on the job na attrition rate no na ewo soro. Why do we have to be changing members of parliament just like that? Mr. Samuel na me metifie no. I say papa o ye greedy papa. What the adena kofi no bi medibia.
Edru obi so I say ye mo monto aso.
You get the point. Until I entered. And I met here say irrespective of your background, irrespective of your intellectuality, you need a certain amount of time to be able to learn on the job so that you can give back to your people. In 2004, when Old Tafu was carved out of Anyaa-Sowutwom constituency, Old Tafu be Tafu and I say Old Tafu constituency. At the time, I did Dr. Antonia Kotose Bayano. Dr. Antonia Kotose was not Dr. Antonia Kotose. And I always tell my people, in fact, media houses in Ibiti Busau, Dr. Akuta Wabedi Nadi, that is a big shoe. How are you going to fill it? Then I refer them back to 2004, 2005. When he was not the doctor, Akuto said that we knew in 2016 and 2020. What was the trick? The trick was that Parliament and the people of Old Tafu constituency gave him enormous space, enormous time. to learn on the job.
To serve.
Until after 8 years, 12 years, he became a doyen in Parliament. When it comes to the Finance Committee, the economy, so he was a doyen. You just cannot do without Dr. Anyaa-Sowutwom say. That is the kind of space. Say kabi mami kabi jumadi na yedi no ebekoso ye pa no a. We have to allow people to learn. Unfortunately, it is also right for anybody to think say, oh, na nipa no akoba akwa na mienu akono bi medibi. It is also right because sabi obianso or the onso betimi abekire of Parliament, but the way the institution of Parliament is, it is not kono bi medibi. And with the greatest of respect, that does not mean that anybody wants to have him or herself entrenched on it. So far, Dr. Kissi constituency. With the greatest of respect to the person who is coming, there is no way from now till the next 4 years. Because the person will also need time to learn, because he has also learned for about 4 years. But unfortunately, because it's a democracy, you have to give space for everybody to contest. But the architecture of the constitution, the constitution can selection and election.
Of course.
So it doesn't matter how a candidate will have to be taken or a candidate will have to be chosen. So far as I say, selected or not elected or a party, that is what we should be doing. And normally, for us to be able to trigger that selection process in our constitution, you need a very formidable and a very strong National Executive Committee to gauge the atmosphere. No, I should say, this time, what do we do to make sure that we can win an election? In the absence of that, everything basic. Let's go for an election. Let's go for an election. Yes, election is very important, but there are some few places, or there are some key places. I don't see why Atachian should be allowed to leave Parliament now, with the greatest of respect to Kingsley. I don't have any problem with it. Why should Atachian leave Parliament? Why should people like Jogati leave Parliament? Why should people like Napo leave Parliament? Why should people like Osei Mensa leave Parliament? It is the party that needs them. And so, say Canada Japan contest election. Yes, or contest election or Lucy. What decision can the party take so that such a person can be brought back to Parliament?
But is an position.
In the contemplation of the framers of the constitution of the New Patriotic Party, they felt that there are times that you will need a trigger of the selection process to put your best foot forward until the person nobody can say, oh, ebia ahano mesha, and this time into me could be based on health grounds or something. You see, if you take all your best foot forward in a free parliament, you have a problem. You have a problem, and that is why I'm saying that I don't see why we should allow Jogati to leave Parliament just because he contested for presidential candidate. No, I don't see it. I don't see it. Our opponents, Parliament, there are some of them as young as 45. Some of them are going for their 4th term. As young as 48.
That means experience and
yes.
MPP Belus.
And I can mention him. Akando. Akando started here. And then I say, even when we were in our university, I share Akando on TV. Or to Papa.
Some say he
when you go back to their constituencies, it seems that the party allows them to have a certain space and peace to learn on the job, to stay in Parliament and learn. Into both sides of the aisle, no, I was here making sure, say, at every point in time, President John Dramani Mahama Otro in a request to the leadership of the NDC to nominate Bagwen, also say, based on experience. Based on experience. We are not doing this for purposes of our individual interest. It is for the betterment of the state.
Okay.
Because when people are experienced and they are well versed with the issues and can support the work of Parliament, it is the state and the able with development. Yes, I don't say about 50% of MPs but we know a new one. It becomes problematic. That is why I'm saying that 2018, 17, 19, Now say chairman say ekasa asemoya metifi am papa we wani brade papa wakosa fe de opeso ye de osa toaso until I came in. That is when I realized that the work of parliament just needs experienced hands to be able to function and function well.
Right. So I thought be a man for some more can say one soon ye into ye changing hands to Abama Nipa for Frono. Ya na a wake hana.
Because of our orientation, a member of parliament is not a developmental agent.
Okay.
He is not. You are supposed to be in parliament
to make laws
and legislate, make laws. Enti say nipa no enti ase ne say mato abama. Meto abama owie no. Say me be ekosuku a wo no so oboa me. Say me ba yare a wo no so oboa me. Me ye engagement aye wasudie so ode wani monyam ba beta machi. Me ye ayi a aye wasudie so ode wani monyam ba beta machi. Me kwan a da me fie bi achi aye nyeye. Aye wasudie so obeye. These are things that has no bearing whatsoever with the duties and responsibilities of a member of parliament as far as the constitution of the Republic of Ghana are concerned. But unfortunately for us, and not taking center stage as to the work that a member of parliament should be doing. When it happens like that, it becomes very difficult for someone to perform very well in the House of Parliament and also perform very well in the constituency, because Nipana Dren is a matter about on a dear.
But and yet based on campaign promises are I
agree with you. That's what I'm saying, that well, CSOs and the media should be able to do a good job. NCC should be able to do a good job as to the roles and responsibilities of a member of parliament. You to me, a member of parliament go could promise here. People will not even believe you. It is not as if you say yes, I know, yes, I know. But I'm just saying that is not our responsibility. Can we leave those things to the MCs,
okay,
or the DCs, or the metropolitan chief executives to be doing these things? Until then, we have a problem at hand.
Right. Where the Ajuma, Honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah, Ajuma na medemano, but Oyanum Zunewi. Yeah, best about the Edin Como. I mean, Honorable Dr. Dickson, Adomako Kissi, me manager Bio na Mimisa Sempum etisay, former MP for Anyaa-Sowutwom, Honorable Yamwajo, Emwakwaba, ba Asaasepa 107.3 so.
Yo, me da CP.
Na feeling it is saying. I know say but what me crown with you, yeah.
And the one Makai and you be also feeling it deep. Feeling it deep. I think some minua be ma akasa.
Okay.
Wakasa kama. Na the key thing is that who rap politics more. Most of the time they win or lose. Most of the time, minty. Ubia why you saw your politics in there. I call Las Vegas. A risk no one taking. You can either win or lose, and condition I think you're largely fine.
But no what condition what you say see a bit messy.
Oh, you can't go to battle thinking say 100% win, and they're impossible. Then you're not really realistic. I think that one, a man for consider so doc get into parliament. I'll continue doing them because I near necessarily elections in your money. And no summa going back to normalcy, because in Yemen piano me a blanco for at that time no with the intention.
So the bebo my
about parliament, not there. In fact, far from it. But time and I may pray no. Be very evident, sir. One of the best places are we a juma, a cat, and I share a cat, a dumpy compared to a consulting my part in a day. and no the ma Brasimejon Ejumano Yenika. For instance, you better have any share for 11. 11 no affected the entire over 33 million people in the country because we know can say Ubia Sanimomo. So that's my say. It's any ma Ejumana Wahana Yenika. You pay share related to COVID vaccine and as a COVID levy. Ekow be our mining. Enti eno ne ma embrace bedwa ejuma no eye edika in the sense of the number of lives policy be our obeye no and I say be obeye to ho no eka and no entina I think say kakanga moving forward no here pass parliament benya more professionals on board.
Okay.
Now make professionals a lawyer for to say na menu be me a dingoma law, but who here said artisans or more expertise in artisanship. Engineers are almost either metal related or any other related engineering field. So, architects. In Tiabasi, that's near far dream po. Afa be to say even ordinary hospitaler. Ubia the Nigerian chair eba at the committee level that Abwa Ama Ijrano Ayakama. And these are some of the things. Now unfortunately no credit eba kupe. The expectations of the ordinary people any Ijwanan Kasanji share no Mbobra P na me say Kwame Nkrumah say parliamentarians ninjai embrace bidra ejman nkwano munko form na omuni omunko for ending kita ho eno na me say the genesis of go for expect to say yen hye nkwana endimu
so ko abato mpeso aneso
na yenkwa hemfie with nsapan.
Okay.
And also a cultural thing nti eno na edi enya kakra because okwa hemfie na make Obia or a potential voter. Okosana unfortunately, Patemu and you Simuha, Accra Ghana or the entire Ghana. Abribian, unfortunately, obeying Obio Tobabiana, yes, at Nekrakra, other places, no. Omo demands and almost say almost any year school na neba air corner send a bind boama omo grades aquanim all the campus school fees ya here but in she say ben na ye de beto just about recently matise New York baby a ben hot action no car bia akokra ometisika I say Ghana na Oxford Street. Oh, Ben Oxford Street to ease traffic. So umbe tiyewi. Our moyensi say we are to her. Now, sign never we know. Engineer, you don't call in my shabby. Now, unfortunately, I had no.
Ntiasia no ni horse. I mean, when rosa.
Or say, Mikaisa Okoboy and this one, dear, about come the born say, on co-wedding. Co-engagement. Then so na in say pa or de ba ma ebia wedding dress a okotono ayefo ama no eno de obi nhwe no. That
means you nhwe dipa no abilities and capabilities you hwe say woni nkrofo ben nkrofo no for more
eno so pra no enye nunti na nipa no ewo embrace bedwem na me kai say me call medical school yes at times we have two options. Doctor be a no best pass in broad memona a memoir baying we ride in them. That means we wouldn't them. Any doctor be so no answers. But
show you
I'm our pomoding is so. A would now pay. Now a copa say unfortunately Ghana for Pinape, you no best now and we in a way no slow death. And as I say, a year, ewo home, young conqua and boying, ewo or mining. Sometimes you need a very firm-handed leadership. Any the open corner obey yama, but obey more pumuding ide is so. And I think that hopefully yet to see any my kofi I'm hoping that parts in the very sign because yakoye yen konkwa all the time. Yam here na enyema ebema ya Atumpan
Akechi.
Ebekechi.
Right. Yebeba hona yahwe reforms as former MP, ube pese MPP as a political party going forward, a bit miaba, you be the home come. But what my assessment? You talk about why assessment I heard until Lucia.
Me
Anyaa-Sowutwom.
Well, the main Chade, we retained our seat, and they're very important for me. Say, of mine the BB shows him, and our party in the BB shows him now. Na wechinya enye.
Okay.
Inti for me the crack whether for good or bad I'm happy say my former MP Honorable Ekow or the Mame as a seat of the MPP make at all costs, whether I liked it or not. I've also committed say me the baton made another person. Sanke free yen sanke behame. And I always said say, it shouldn't be under my watch. And sa SNBC. Now with regards to primaries, I think and I say this with the greatest of respect, the good do not always win. Or the best will not always win. I know they are. But I think
I didn't hear the best into me. I didn't hear the best into me. Winnie, she should be a war political party MPP mu, and I'm an idea said the best beat me away because Nipa Biano you put your best foot forward, and say best no lose. Then what is the way forward?
Well, we'll say the interests are in multiple factors, and this primaries are quite in India. In fact, not interesting. Yes. At variance, and unfortunately, me was to buy BMs in the Amwame. I speak my mind too much.
Okay. What can I drink?
And me fan say my brochi tinakakra and a mamiesa into Ghana culture unfortunately encourage speaking your mind, and I cannot change because the Indian woho many to your parents are there based on the my decision me wono so off and you through a certain level so you cannot handle when things go off no and I used to buy me maybe them feel in the Ghanaian culture one, if you are truthful and you are straight to the point, especially in Ghanaian politics. Some people might not like you for that, and accosted me. But I still stand my grounds. And for me, in Yeme Pia me kanye, me fan say, my facing consequences of it. I don't regret them. I really don't, because anka ebemiya semanka.
Okay.
Yes, and there's a cultural thing, and that one me try my opinion for. At times, we have now opinion in the bar almost 16 years. Now, opeso no one can't the haneba, and no the metiao. I want me consult you. Make us say now what they obey school said. We all go to school to be able to express ourselves. Now say oba utia school fees or co job interview obi dinichi.
Debbie.
And I think that culture also needs to change. Yemba, at the age of 9 years, to me expressing without fear. Na say in to be expression ma yen kan omunshe. Na things no ma be at liberty say major etiemensem. What's my simple and tosuma you guide the children na. Our guidance in near culture him too much, and elsewhere by age 39, na Nyema Wayeno, na Ghanaian age 39 on ye because you can't call for you can't, and I really think that from a cultural standpoint, no, it's not helping us. Obama was president of this entire America at an age less than 50. French President Macron, an age less than 50. I'm just citing very powerful examples. Economies are not managing, but they groom them early. Britain, prime ministers, a lot of them were groomed early. There's been years of grooming. As I say, Warren Buffett at age 7, taxes are not yet wage man. Now, Ghana for your professors of taxes, because the papa was a tax specialist, and not channel. Right from early ages, and then you're one of the richest in the country. So imagine, and see that culture, and it comes back to Parliament. You buy a two or say supposed to attach yamu, and no credit. You can tell that the age in Parliament in Abuam, they know the roadmap, and now omunim de, na they know munim no entinama. Ekow say party here chain here party, no,
of course,
in the sense that a Jumedian committee in fact against the Philistines Yebishia in the 9th Parliament, no.
Museum for
anchor and no bad thing, and not to discount the new people coming on board.
Okay,
but I can almost say, sir, me mame or say abedi pele bo anamado abedi pele bo anwada. When you have a very experienced hand doing the job, udanwada, and I think that with the greatest of respect, and the 9th Parliament near war, still the Jogates and still the Atachians and the Ken and whatnot, Anka will have a very formidable team to match the entire. Say even NDC at 200 in power, this team would have been crazy and match them. But
1997, yenya minority, MPP nya minority or my imra na numbers are my imra insignificant, but still
some caliber of people would have made a difference, no matter what. Me person discount experience in Parliament at all. And I think Mano kept hitting that fact. Udim de Krana experience matters.
Okay.
So Penini Hikrana on Abache. Vice versa. And Ejma ways no credit. I've not said this anywhere, but even speaker, how on a or say chairman suppose a delay different from how on a market because of the experience they both have.
Also in meat.
What must I say? Inti Banta is at a different level. But what must I say? These are some of the nuances. Now committee level, so people with a lot of experience, the chairman of the committee, it's any different.
Okay.
So what must I say? Because they know they have the experience and institutional memory. So to sometimes even refer the chairman to certain things that have happened that Amma in Shishayebi, Abemu, Ana Amma in Shishayebi, NCCA Yajitumu. These are some of the reasons. Now, I still wish the best for the 9th team. And Misume Mauma assurance say we may be down, but we're not out. Yeah, Kofi, we're going to be working very hard for them.
For comeback.
Not necessarily for comeback of us, but for comeback of the party.
Okay.
Now, maybe per sports. Sometimes, if you have a very good operations away from the pitch, their players near your pitch this year phenomenal. There will be original backbenchers. Will not be on the field playing, but the Ebeya are supported. Many are when they'll be amazed.
Right. Dr. Amin Rasasi, I mean, call lawyer Vincent Ekow, Assafuah, Deputy Minister for Local Government. Now, quickly, what can be? And Dr. Dickson, Adomako, Kissi, Eddie Atoso say, near experience has been what my image of Jafia, and Kebeye Fese, or Mbekano Masum, our ninth parliament in Moa, and they yin homo. That means that Bibi Owa, MPP as a political party, a year. Senebe as Ancrofono, Tembia, and you bit me no more, my image with the fee, now Masum Ghana, some party no. Reforms be one who say quickly, MPP, or Motanase, no more Junehon, Senebe, come back 2028, a bit my easy, Ediama MPP as a political party.
No, I don't think it's an issue of reform. I think it's an issue of making a decision. It's not an issue of a reform. You don't need a national council or, let me say, the whole of the delegate system to come and make this decision for you. Because you see, our constitution is very clear. It's a democratic constitution. So there are some of the things that you have to do behind the scenes to achieve the same purpose. You don't need the reforms to do that. You need an executive body that will make that tough decision for the interest of the party. For the interest of the party. Because when you are being voted into power, for example, me, I have been voted as a member of parliament. Whatever decision or argument that I make on the floor of parliament, I do so in the interest, first and foremost, of the people of Otafo and in the interest of the people of Ghana. So, any national executive who has been voted into power has been voted to make decisions on behalf of the people, that is the New Patriotic Party, and its people. So it's an issue of decision. People should be able to know that at this instance, this is what is going to help the party. I am not asking anybody to come and entrench me in parliament. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's why I cited the example that OCHMS also learn. No, not everywhere. Oh, I didn't also say kakranka. So when people are facing out, other people are also coming in. But general, if you like, a blanket kind of a democratic party, so Bianco elections, irrespective of the person or the caliber of person coming to parliament, it becomes problematic because they can do to support the party, irrespective of how certain people may not be happy about it. But now see an issue of engagement. If you're able to engage very well, if you're able to consult very well, if you're able to let people know, say, Chinchinia, and let's say also called contest elections, when we have the right foot forward, the party should be able to make certain decisions. To be making certain decisions, now you be at the other contest in the you find something for the person to do in the party, another appointment somewhere here, promises, letting the person know, say, oh, it is better for you to also do this for the party. What I say, if that engagement is done, now would you come and pamu ye na nipa no so and feel say your interest be na opushi there? I don't think it should be a problem. There are times that people might feel say your interest na opushi. So we are depending on our personal interest. What I say, but you see the example that I cited. Ken is not my friend. Or contest elections, man supporting no. I don't regret. Or contest you are men supporting no.
Why? Oh, personal issue.
No, because me who say, oh, ebia, nipo then the contest, or you need what I say. But I'm just saying this for purposes of having a very good argument and a discussion for you to know that it is not about me interest. It is not about the fact that me will be issue. No, it is about what decision can help the party. To me, yes, sir. This year will be a problem, and going forward, because of the numbers that we've had in Parliament, we should start to make some of these decisions, hard decisions, that are strategic, that is devoid of personal interest, that is devoid of favoritism. If you're able to do so, I don't think we should have so much of a problem.
Right, Dr. One of the arguments is about decision taking, not reforms in the party. Maybe I feel what became Asaasepa 107.3. Ya woman yi mrasho dwafi anwumre ni da kwan say ninth parliament no mrasho dwafo no ya bebo osu na watimi ahye wodwuma se anopotututu ya say mampanyina Ghana fo ato aba de ama no John Dramani Mahama ono so no ye de afana be hye nisem no asai na wahye na dwuma se asase 103 wo Cape Coast in the central region, asase 98.5 Kumasi in Ashanti region, asase 99 99.7. Tamale in the northern region. Yankee FM 95.5. 99.5. Sorry. I was Sampa, Jama North, Bono region. Yeah, mamu NFI, mamu NET. But I'm Honorable Dr. Dickson, Adomako Kissi ho. Osi is about decision taking, proper decisions, and yet a matter of reforms. Some man will be calling for reforms.
My share corporate takeovers. Make corporate takeovers. Company be or na a new team of Fako. Not only the age ma. Me back soccer side. The same players, different coach. The same players, different technical team. I'm almost of the same opinion. Say, yeah, constitution that one. Without making changes to it, it's a culture business. And no crab at the than making extraordinary changes in party constitution. And at this point in time, one, as a reflection on what went wrong, because honestly speaking, constitution was derailed a little bit by the way and manner party conduct business whilst in government. Seme Kakakra, founding fathers had some core principles that we departed from. If we can revisit what was MPP, and to borrow the words of Dr. Frimpong, the cardiologist, or say na MPP na be something different from what he subscribed to. The culture dictates and the traditions of the party, we departed from it. I think if we go back to, the Dubois type era and the sense of not entitlement, but the sense of pride and patriotism, and said na yet allow for dissenting opinions. Kabinamin kebiria near soniso, but it could drew a certain point. Okase opere tuntum kakra mpoa na fitafo na abuefu, and I think we can run a party that way. And see if only we can even attempt to go back to your culture, what we were and what we truly should be. That alone, sometimes your standard operating procedures are the same standard operating procedures might be there at the company, but a change in management alone can make things work perfect. And see, we should make haste slowly in trying to tweak things. I believe that the same constitution that the MPP has had, if we revisit what we were, what we stood for, a lot of things will attract our base again. Right.
Lawyer, dear Dr. Canon, Dr. Dickson, Adomako Kissi, it's not about decision taking, but say MPP back. Na mamreni amani ene nuoma bia Dubois hemu hono mo de ye adwuma no on besia ko revisit. One ne adwin sa.
No, of course, that is also another leg of the issue. But also Kano, with respect to how you can keep certain people in parliament immediately. So short term, what can you do? So if you have 2028 elections, not 2026 about primaries, in the short term, the leadership of the party should be able to make certain decisions. That is in relation to the 2028 elections.
Okay.
So it's a combination of short term and long term, as he's saying. What can we do so that we can have a better party going forward, even in the next 10 years, 20 years? Because you're making those decisions new year. What have you done to cater for 2032? What have you done to cater for 2036? What have you done to cater for 2040? And then that dog can one. So he's looking at the larger picture, the larger picture, what the party can do to make sure that in a sustainable way we can hold our party very well. But yeah, because election now will bear 2 years, 1 year, be now because election now. I expect the national leadership or national executive to make critical decisions that are strategic, and those strategic decisions should be geared towards winning an election, devoid of whose ox is God, devoid of who is not going to be happy. What you say? Say to me, Anya is idea, and yeah, the piano. You come back to square one.
Right, na me mpese me call Abato mpeso abi so, but ma me nwura ho kakra na ye nin common free o eno achi ye behwe if parliament na nwumre eba wie na ya hwe expectation ninth parliament ye di ho enkomo MPP fo no bi so ka say it seems say ye pampa ebinum ye pampa binom like ebimu ye dadama ewo MPP mu untouchable ye nko masem no ka ho bi na tambia no party ni faces are enoma no baby ti said dome kwabenya adwo asafo say ye kwoto aba no wotimi ka say media me local politics ba me koye national politics ni ahwe ni sa na party na lusu seat e wo dome kwabenya baby e be ka say the basket of the MPP lawyer. I know say person be didi akọ but
well media we nyama party no. In fact the good thing is that the person who is chairing the review committee to know what really transpired, the constituency grounds, that is Professor Michael Quay.
But he will cease be one in the crime say MPP. What you know who I want to say sit with the then MPP to me lose money.
So on top of my mind, questionable, but until we can really be sure of what really transpired, he said there is data. People should be able to go down there, do research, and let them go through the process very well. Say, okay.
But for a former MP to say, me local politics, because national politics, no we join the constituency war, knowing very well, so we influence or that constituency. I get Dome Kwabenya. And serious.
It is possible it was an issue. It is possible it was not an issue. So I'm just saying, say, what the whole constituency? Or pass some of I be a doctor.
Lawyer.
Let me say this. One, election Ekow, the global trend was not in favor of the party.
Okay.
Because we were governing or incumbent. Many incumbents, the likes of Great Britain, the likes of South Africa, the likes of India, incumbents as a far defeat. In fact, India crowd ye ka akukudama etetoya na utie Indian politics are almost unheard of. Now against our backdrop, no, na say quote unquote Ghana ye lusu Dome Kwabenya 20 this year. Then as I would say
normal news.
Based on global trends, examples I'm way. Then na utumuse na nkese MPP die hunsun tem. Especially when South Africa ANC elusu tim. Ama no afomu here, a combination of opposition to govern. Now ko UK seats are na omulusu da. So unfortunately, I think there's a seismic effect, and maybe because tsunami, we failed as a party to then ring fence or protect ourselves from that quantum of global trend demanding changes, where you even almost least expected. And ABI did not do for the crowd called Dome Kwabenya, we would have lost. I don't know. What am I say? Though we're looking at, but to look carefully at Dome Kwabenya, there are a lot of dynamics. Admittedly, former MP, father has a chapel, a strong presence in the constituency. We cannot discount it. Donald Trump won the election based on religion. We cannot discount the religious factor. Maybe, and I'm just using the word maybe, a beer affected. I mean, I'm sure the man has church members more than the 135 a year gap. No? So Dome Kwabenya is a unique.
The whole difference is 135.
Yes. It's a unique situation there. Metuaka on record say a year almost an outlier. See, I can't issues a CR. Adomako a outlier because one, sentiment on the ground was even different for the former MP. Others are of the opinion so called grounds can't keep your best say no more. And you be so in the sense that maybe they were upset with her for staying out when a lot of parliamentary work was going on. Into a holiday
dynamics in the door soon.
I really think that even senior Ekow, the report no, when they are done, said they are also in many places no, me personally I'm expecting them to say, but for Adomako there were a few differences. Even say menka on Asaasepa Radio, family rivalry in terms of the Ekows and the Assafuahs could have also contributed. I know they are just an assumption, but sign Yeman in America say hono in particular there, and to say Abia the other Accra seats are Ilusu here. It's a very unique story, and it in other places Anka it deserves a special book. Adomako deserves a special book because to turn it from blue to green is here in-depth analysis, and by the time I'll be not what we are diagnosing in totality, the entire MPP Enya. But either way, it is still, I think, an outlier. Oko Doma side, the changes that happened also have a different coloration. So, and the fact that Katie Hammond also lost in Ashanti region, a whole different coloration. But I think a vote of no confidence. And that's how I see it. Whether in Kofu Piebe 2 yo, Omo Mbambe 2, the Oma Kache and say Yonkofi na Yonkoshe any money yes, Ambra. Because I think the MPP has shown to have numbers. Except that one way or the other, no, you delinky home from the grassroots somehow. And in Nyema I see and also Dorso. And I believe, and I've always believed in the 80-20 rule. And I think I've been proven right. Say, your business, you ensure that your repeat clients are taken care of first than those who come one and go. So that's what I say. Now, say, your party, so what it means is your base are a crown. You must make sure you hold them before you go fishing. That's what I say. Now, Okoye fishing expedition now. Yeah, then we are in trouble. And he say no. But at any rate, the 80-20 rule has to be looked at carefully, because from business and marketing administration, I'm now very believing say Pareto rule we can't change it, and at times that is where I'm a bit different in some of our thinking, but I think that rule which has been proven by math and now by a lot of things that have happened, I think that MPPC in the future, and what it means, and I've said this to many leaders, pay attention to your strongholds. Me now they be am catch party and say, listen, umame anka edu. Send the best sub in cough when any amoma ye drama no. A bro saw the baby and so many. Okay. And I really still believe in that philosophy. Say, obi o ha osa cha komanya ne fe. Osa sedeng. into twa kwan said then.
Into waste time was added and
Make us waste time. No, you have to pay attention to your base. Then you go and fish for more. Now jail base ni mu dia la ilala the ebeto no.
Alhamdulillah. Right. My share experience kakra. Mami Shasi free lawyer Honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah Utafu MP Deputy Minister for Local Government. Yes, sabi bi ento no an that's who are ye adwuma. Ebia ade ebechina asesa dia I don't know. But anaju still ade
ebechina asesa.
But anaju still ye minister. Quickly, my share experience kakra. If Parliament. Yes, starting if Parliament. Yeah, starting na hoguno so. Ye be close to if Parliament and also no hama ahongono so experience kakra if Parliament.
Well, I wish say Kameka the 7th Parliament, you know, so that I could have made a better juxtapositions as to where we came from and where we got to. However, we will still make the juxtapositions based on what we saw. Even when we were political actors and we were just following. The numbers, our 7th Parliament, any 8th Parliament, you know, shall say, these are 2 distinct parliaments. 2 distinct because the 7th Parliament, in India, 169 members of Parliament for the New Patriotic Party. Obviously, the leader of government business will not struggle to, as it were, make sure so they push you a room, the government business, a room. 8th Parliament. 1D, 1F tax exemptions. I was here for free SHS bill. I was very interested in this bill because I'm a member of the Education Committee. We wanted to make sure that there is a legal backing that will be given to the free senior high school education, so that in the event that any government takes office, on to me or the nepe a change the structure of the free senior high school education. Inti we share the university for local government, the CEO a year offensive North constituency, a commander. You would have wished that you pass that bill so that that university will become a full-fledged university. UGDSNK 7th Parliament and MPP 169. You will not pass all these relevant bills. The tax exemptions that we are giving to businesses, which in our anticipation, about 10,000 people or more will be able to access jobs, will be able to get jobs, whether direct or indirect. We know the kind of jobs that Ghana for, as far as factory work, Kissi. We know. But because we have a very different parliament it became very difficult. So the experience is that for the first time a hang parliament, the anticipation is a democratic but the NDC side unfortunately used that as a bargaining chip, used that to blackmail the New Patriotic Party, used that to derail the efforts of the New Patriotic Party. Because when I say your constitution, you practice executive government. Yes, sir. The executive arm of government, or not the word to me say obey, follow the directive principles of state policy, as has been enshrined in the chapter 6 of the 1992 Constitution, to make sure say both short term and long term you bet me achieve all the things that have been stated in the directive principles of state policy. But with the opposition, be not say, oh, you see the numbers.
No, the opposition.
It becomes problematic. And you see, the first sin of the 8th Parliament, and they say, ye MP before our Parliament, yen to me and nasu ye, na yen speaker, or no, ever bois, a MPP business. That was the first sin of the 8th Parliament. was the first sin of the 8th Parliament. And no, and did more.
For the kind of 8th Parliament, and he said, "Yenya NPP speaker, but he be nya abansuma na babin."
With the greatest of respect to him, I have no problems with him. But of course, party be opinion or better than one, or your opinion, when you say, "Sani pana drain." Nisusiano, and they yet the day a pepe. But look at the problems that we went through. And an experience for us and a learning process for all of us. This time, the NDC is going to have their way. Share Obika Chem say NDC numbers no. Omukrabit match a woman. Anopa, Nebiaba.
Shift system.
They will still be more than the MPP.
Senebi no much is that and no.
So everything that they want to do, obviously, they can do it because they have the numbers. But the MPP side will also not sit there. That you will not let the Ghanaian people also know our views. And they said, "Yeah, Jennifer, or Parliament." We are not going to sit down there. In fact, they will see a much more vociferous side of the new patriotic party.
Right, you have a naive Parliament, but who is probably leadership. MPP leadership, if Parliament, and to repeat,
well, leadership, you obey enough from with you. But it takes maturity to know, say, yeah, MPP, a bigger picture, because you yourself are final Parliament, you are there on the ticket of the new patriotic party. You were sponsored on the ticket of the party. Party no netria usika or electoral commission. The electoral commission so ma okwan say gina a party na ho oden so never come contest elections. Almost all of us in Parliament, especially here free MPP abano. We MPP ni free say ya contest elections. Be na be do elections. Me GD say doc so case of independent. I said doc o lose the primacy. Ko be ma so independent. But o sha o independent e be dene. And as a party no so and can't go. And this all MPP ni free watch here. But who say a failure one cast our strength now the. So if you come on the ticket of the new patriotic party, that relevant and I say that focus say MPP say in your no and don't also be a DHA because that is the party's dream. Unfortunately, we failed in that. And no. And I think that the party will bounce back very well. I think that we are learning from our mistakes. I think that the young people MPP for and more if Parliament who say the best a woman the bar out. I think so, but who say it becomes very problematic. You as deputy minister. Sanopa. Oh sorry. Ojuma will minister also. At the same time, Parliament is sitting. How do you divide yourself into two? The same issues and answer problems, challenges that you go through. No, these guys will go through the same problems. These guys will go through the same problems. So it cannot be, say, MP before 9 years. You see, history will judge the new patriotic party. The MPP and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government are one of the best governments ever to have happened to this country. Unfortunately for us, normal bakubi ye posturing ni normal bakubi na anya dey anko ya fama ye eno ene e dia ba be we say but ye ka adwuma ne pa dia you cannot tell me that we did not work abaya I make sure say enkoda be brave to be anya education whether you have money or you don't have money abaya e dey bibi a friend of free diet doctor where enkoda anase nkofo omuwuo because they don't have enough resources to be able to pay for dialysis. Upon way, I'm making sure say that the dialysis I can't a year NHIS home. I mean, obi obeso nya your friends dialysis piano send the panel into your way. And ne uku kumasia. Prempeh, the first international airport has been commissioned. Phase 2 has been commissioned by the new patriotic party. In Newaha and Ethiopian airline, a free UK, ABC, Kumase. It has never happened before. Can anybody tell me that MPP are buying your share? Uko Konfanochia, maternity ward, MPP Adaroma and yesi wo and I think about 2-3 days ago President Ekow commission the regional hospital say a regional hospital ya sha say free the scratch ya ku wie sisi ameno ka say 1D 1F President Etimia Commission 3 finished fully completed ebetumi start adwuma. A lot of them are also at the various stages of completion. Drone system, one of the best around the globe. Emma, the current vice president of US, is a current Anna. So that's a current. Kamala. Emma, ono krampo bejina ha. Emma Ghana for hunu. The drone system it is not even happening in US. So can anybody tell us and convince us? Say we have done the work, but certain things na yanye day yanye year me at every point in time be a many opportunity no. But they chop at the Magana for. Maybe we did not listen to 1 or 2 things from them, but maybe also we also did not communicate very well to them because no, even our challenges. My main side example, just yesterday I was watching a video. John Mahama say now. Betting tax, COVID-19 tax, what again? COVID, e-levy. No, Onimse, it has been tied to the IMF program. How can a statesman even talk like this? Now, Obeka Ghana for say, oh, the share where you manifesto that the first 120 days, so be your man penina, ube yisadi we free. Now you are already psyching us and telling us, say, adia no ka. IMF program huntino untimi enyin frosis here but over rationalizing no obedi intro. That means that everything that the New Patriotic Party was saying at the time was true, but we could not communicate it well for the people of Ghana to know say a financial consolidation and a revenue mobilization strategy to make sure that the impact of COVID-19 about minus yetime yet me communicating ye ama Ghana for hunu the entire e-levy no aba amamoti asia. I don't think any say John Mahama find an opportunity out of it. Ebeka say may ye betting tax a free ho. And then kwadanwa Gen Z for no moto abadema wo. Omo anticipation say omo kutra better. Omo ntua 10% bi ono. You are disappointing them. You have disappointed them. San kwadano so moto abatia ye no. Omo no omo enche because they will now see the truth and they will now see the difference between MPP and NDC. They will now see the difference between Akufo-Addo and they will now see the difference between Bawumia and John Dramani Mahama. And see, that is very problematic. That's why I'm saying that it is not necessarily the things that we could not do. It is about how we were unable to communicate clearly for the people of Ghana to understand the challenges that we were going through as a nation.
Right, but now I'm winning numbers. Remember, my main call, Honorable Dr. Dickson Adomako Kissi, former MP for Anyaa-Sowutwom, lawyer Vincent Ekow Assafuah. Nya time kakrama me dem no na here near da na me if parliament wo some 4 years e my university experience be na wonya e den na wo hu e den na be person na Ghana for be share den na person Ghana for
Well, it has been a roller coaster ride. 8th Parliament, you know. Make a roller coaster. Omwa yebetu omo machewo mbashebe Jim Cracker say the Ekow adesium in the sense that a hung Parliament and even a speaker from the opposition party never heard of. BC that say NDC was an MPP. Nina, a speaker. We see that, and nobody imagined it. Into the credit, from day one, no, we've had a hurdle, a very difficult one. Yes, I near 138, and NDC was 137, but the speaker was like 10 MPs because of the position or holding, and the number tough, and yempo. The oversight responsibility of Parliament, you know, the NDC colors kakra kahope. Na ma inshabia binding by name winding. Maybe the Mijidi say anke wo MPP Speaker of Parliament anka 11 to Kanesiano anka in your nom yanku. I know dear, you can't take it from me. Or be uncle to me anywhere. Say, me say, if we had an MPP Speaker of Parliament, Santo Kwanan Kanyadeng, Ambasso, and I believe Sanka, we would have worked more on consensus than your experience here. Sena free SHS bill ambemu, Sena tax exemptions are
for private sector, no.
Sena to force in the 6th Parliament, no preaching for tax exemptions. Now fast forward, time and in India, a cost road in Yamano. Now fi onye for tax exemption no. Be nyama here 9th Parliament say the same person are now all preaching against tax exemptions. Ghana for here. So within the next 2 years, on Bambi Jino Minim say or who say tax exemptions are who ewo infaso. Enti yenika, but yediaye is shadie. Every member of the 8th Parliament, I can tell you, SPD up. Na the high and kakras and say, Senanet na abribia na SCO Chimbanim. Emma yene a few for kita honoso esote kakra. Na pina so antiasie say, say no, a card kitiknanka bakukra or Russia by Parliament anko or Shrenenkwa ewo akwenshia ho a na enye too far from Parliament. Into the 8th ne de no kre nyamenim. It's been a tough battle, a tough experience. Executives now, so mini, as much as I yang so parliamentarians no, it be coin. But all in all, I think Ghana for and I the main beneficiary of 8th Parliament. Now yanka nanka ebia more bills. Uncle Sisa, become more bills are more in Shisheye, and more minor, a kind call. A minor ye dear na anya crano nanke say your recovery process no a year quick because of other guarantees are buying a war and as guarantees are a woman loan facilities. In a nutshell, no, it's been an experience. Na and then me catch Henry Corte say a year me JP say met me akase me no etna 8th Parliament because or one of my very respected members of Parliament the same things which Honorable Carlos Ahenkra. These were people I made them some more greater Accra. Some of the people are Omunti D Sa Jenny EBP Parliament. Make sure that Santa Region Force Beka or say chairman suppose. Okay. And Central Force Beka.
Medio Poku Prempedum.
Well, exactly. I mean now see Napomo.
But it's your stress on Napunum.
Yes. Oh, that's you know, Utminka as Antaman and Semna we
Napo okay.
We prempe if it's Okasa na.
Expectation 9th Parliament do uniho.
Yes, I think so. One, they are very obvious. One, MPP numbers will be less than 90, and they will match 180, which is double, and that means say a soccer 1:2. Into some information on BUSU, but I also believe say it be caught into the executive. Into drop it by even 30 Ebema formation no any 1 to 2. You know, almost any years so there will be crowd to me far. After your mark is so to be far or between tackle best and nipa 20. Now we clamp him down. It's they need to sit. And I know that the MPP side no I bet now my more careful and proactive in matching the NDC. Now I keep saying say we will be with them in spirit.
Okay.
It's a bit bujma behind the scenes to support Obo Ejma Omokoye.
Right.
It's man conform here on my pitch and so yeah, which you know we will support them heavily. And
then I went to my catcher about to Assafuah. Teacher ne Adishewo Anyaa-Sowutwom. Honorable Dr. Dickson Adomako Kissi, outgoing MP Anyaa-Sowutwom.
In fact, I'll go on. The first thing is Medomasi. Meda Oboadia said that Ubia or contributed to, the victories I've had in the past 4 years. Is a fantastic privilege to have served them. Now, face, me Mr. Boniface. Ejuma with the way they are Obinaso. Obia Mafum Nibiano on Fancheme. Now, Yantuaso, I'm quite young in politics. On behalf more of me, even still, in the political space. Because so Asaasepa Fugusu Mudia. Now, me small boy there. Now, Utumu said me won't fear people be nima. Me to me, I politics. Inti. Mr. Say almost unya butrema MPP. Na omunfa MPP body sonya day. Enche na mepemuno yebebe omo na yeni omo di nkomo no more. Na ya church ni maybe so emu amom. But all in all, me do say for sa opportunity ya omo amame emame somomo omo som for Dr. Dickson. Adomako Kissi. So say there from Wachitano, me say me phone no. Amana ahume na maji break kakra. Abrofo say be the vacation na mako break kakra so that me so maji mahume. So say there me busuan for na ebenya attention kakra. Juma with the other who and so are you who are yes, serious. And to say, you're back or some kakra.
Okay.
Now, I have refused to kakra. Now, we'll spring back to support this family, a friend or MPP. See, wait here. Another station. Right,
you better ask for your time. Yes. Honorable Dr. Dickson Adomako Kissi, former MP for Anyaa-Sowutwom, now to say, Yenene Common about me, I'm a brapany, lawyer Honorable Vincent Ekow, Assafuah, Tafom Rashibijani, Assafuah, one of your deputy minister for local government, Yenene Twa and Commonoso. Honorable, what can be about projects Ahodwa, MPP, attachment. Projects Ahodwa MPP agent as a legacy. Mobile then a protected projects with numbers and more. Our main Russia.
Well, offer me ministry as an example. One of the first projects I'm a now even the process has already started. But the shall say your call launch was a drip project. Every constituency, every district. Machines to facilitate their road improvement and construction. Backhoes, tipper trucks, and a number of them. The NSA at the time machines, the anticipation was that machines a local road infrastructure, local road enhancement, so that even farming areas, baby, we should be able to pave some ways for those people. Because I will train the central government to be able to award contract to such places are possible. Oba local government here will be a friend of Ghana Secondary City project. It's a World Bank funded project. So next our project another funded one. Trust me, there are a lot of places who Ghana have and that because it will have to be waiting for a year central government project and as a central government contract. But the secondary city project, the Sikanoko district, not districts now determine what they want to use that money for. In the Assafuah, there has been a number of road constructions in Assafuah, just by virtue of the fact that a year the Ghana secondary city project. Into all these projects are abano baya babayano. You be making sure say we will remind the NDC. We will remind those who are taking charge. We will remind MCs, we will remind DCs, to know say at the time, set it up. Some of these projects, the idea was for us to make sure say Yabua road infrastructure. If anybody who want to play politics with it and allow those machines, say machines don't say, and I say machines in Juma, we will fire them. We will remind them. We will let them know.
You only have your say.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That Ghanaians will also see. Me otafo tipa trust nisa no money go. Ya to excavators is waka be home. Na fa de ne adwuma na onfa nya adwuma. I will not keep quiet. We will let Ghanaian people know. Say these are taxpayers' money. Omo na so buy omo be de omo be two katashese proye any wastage in the system. Munisika. Na unisika na se ya to no money go na oba na se no man is one use. We will remind you. We will let Ghanaian people know. Say we taxpayers' money. You have to indeed use it for the betterment of the Ghanaian people. We did not buy it for the benefit of New Patriotic Party. We bought it for the benefit of the Ghanaian people. And the project here, yeah, be brain. Anytime you can catch us say, and no more, and my MPP lose abano. On top of my mind, you're going to be a posturing. Now, a choir yesterday, ranting about before so because we were not there for them. Most of our people were now enjoying the power so much to the extent say your phone bill and those kind of things. When it happens like that, so what's the Abdul Crown? That's what's the DIY developmental project saying the panel has had in the bill. They will still go and vote and say a top of man no. Say no I they went behind my meanwhile we should development plans who are in the panel day where development. And these are the challenges that we've gone through. But I hope that some projects we are reminding the NDC say agenda 11 they will finish it.
Okay.
Yeah, man, to say Eurojet projects no for NDC from 2009, ABC 2016. They did nothing about it. Uba Asaasepa MPP started a maternity ward. At the time, it was one of the biggest maternity wards and as a blocks. Oh, come on, say yes, started. But unfortunately, we couldn't finish. NDC for 8 years. Now we are struggling with how the contractual terms input here, because one contractor feels that contract in India, and I also award another contractor because the other contractor one way or the other on the promise, and that maternity block is still there as we speak. Until me new now within 4 years because we have 2 separate questions on the floor of Parliament. 2 separate questions that was directed at the Minister for Health to explain why that project in Otafo has not been completed. In this end, we are not going to keep quiet. We will fire them. We will let them know that it is their duty. That is why people voted us out. You remind them to go and do those things for us. And the idea, those projects that we started, MPPO, NDCO, Ghana Fosika, it is within the responsibility of the NDC and the John Dramani Mahama to continue all those projects. Agenda 111 may say they will complete it, they will finish it. We will we will let them complete it. We will file questions to make sure say they will finish that. Because at the end of the day, should go Ghana be hospitals. This was the ambition of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Say there should be at least 1 year plan. There should be some amount of facility we will be able to pay. Now to us now person start another hospital there. We will not agree. We will not allow it to happen.
Right. Speaker Aban Sumana Babin. Nesum if Parliament no who is saying.
Well, so also the paymasters.
Or some the paymasters.
Of course, and
who are the paymasters?
Then this if one. Also John Mahama. Wabuama John Mahama about Parliament.
To a
oh. Well, the Juma deal be the I said too political. So just about NDC. Winyayanka Manisa. Because you see, Abano was one. To help Parliament, you stand on this, you say you will be a fellow leader of government business. NDC need no Parliament. Sisi ana meno kase. I will be your Parliament. It is not within their right to do so. But at a point, who share Parliament this time of year? NDC for crap so much the Parliament.
Of course.
Why? And they have support of the Speaker. Speaker also so dictating what we should do in Parliament. what we should take in Parliament, what we cannot take on the floor of Parliament. You bet me for 1D1 of me for free SH, you bet me for way dictating to us what to do. Unfortunately for us, we brought this onto ourselves. We brought this onto ourselves. And then now, for your mark in the man closing remarks, or can be, but what he never said no diagram, but he really meant it. And I know, say, yes,
what can say in Trigana for Johnny Kissi?
Someone for your mark in kind say, Speaker of Parliament, Abua, Ama NDC, Abba Power, and he did that deliberately. And it is part of Sabin lobby now, or they lobby, you be retain, you know. That you media boam or Parliament, you know, and you must into also must have so. And indeed, you cannot say, Speaker of Parliament, Alban Babin, try so hard to make the MPP look bad in the eyes of the public, to make the MPP look unserious in the eyes of the public, because he's the Speaker of Parliament. He calls the shot. The buck stops with him. Unfortunately, that's the situation that we found ourselves in the 8th Parliament. Unfortunately for us, he has written his name in the good books of Ghana, positively and negatively. But I think that negative, I don't also change positive.
Because the 8th Parliament in the Makana be man say.
Or shall I say no? No meaning so yeah, dear pa. But later no, that's what I'm saying. My society example to you. You can say leader of government business. On the government and this was the no more person in the Parliament. So when you the Parliament when you capture no, I will order people. Nobody, not the minority leader or not even the Speaker of Parliament himself, can vary what we are bringing to Parliament. Unfortunately, the Speaker, we saw that happening.
But Speaker na one here 9th Parliament. Chair or my and the former president Mampaina to about power no John Dramani Mahama stating the clear what the crater free na so ya ba say obepe and our per se aban suma na babe
one ya dey see amount ka na say na say wa ya dey man to oda na say
nti achede no dey man no
ye wo mu ye hu some of the votarians ni bi kura dwa na president ye no
awonafo no bi no madwa
tini nyina na ye friend say president ye nordna ana wasa kofa yi so ye friend say speaker so nordna and the krum ha no yinku ana. I'm hearing all these things. You see the reason why, and I'm saying this, the reason why John Dramani Mahama had to issue that letter, e bin see that president and appoint who a speaker is what the back parliament to obey parliament, then the leadership will nominate somebody for Speaker of Parliament.
But who can say obey na dwen?
Me say me who no be that. As far as 1992 you're concerned, say President be ever throw letter as if the power belongs to him to appoint or nominate a Speaker of Parliament. It has never happened before. It has never happened before. It was based on information that he was gathering, that there were some ranks in his group thinking that they may not want Alban Babin, and for that matter, the letter but the letter the bar. People are not happy within India because me would be that it is the prerogative of the members of Parliament who will now sit around 11:30 or 12 a.m. today to choose who a Speaker of Parliament is to nominate. And the president bia and the war sa asudi so no be nominate you be. It has never happened under our dispensation.
Then the Mampaini to Obama no John Dramani Mahama be taking that action.
You have to answer. Ghana for more na also more answer sadia no. Because me who no be that. We ye can go assume na leadership no. O ka say leadership, wo leadership do kra wonya appointe. What you say almost akọ no almost akọfa Mahama Yarega as majority leader. Not just a leadership.
Not just a simple take leadership or my image. And now we come to what it is a voters in the world.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That per me investigation, name information. I mean, know. John Mahama who said there will be a pushback. No, now say no, they let a tomb quick, and whoever will be seen to be resisting such a nomination, then that person will be, let me say, a black sheep among them. Other than that, Kamehunu be that. So Mampany be troll letter pass or the nominati and I say or the catch leadership say Omofa Asumesi as the Speaker of Parliament. She Uba Parliament one more members of Parliament nine also Muhunu the Ababo. If you have any suggestions to make, you make those suggestions behind the scene. You don't do it as of right to be no what control crata. The Amma leadership say, "Hey, Mokofa Asumesi as the Speaker of Parliament." It has never happened in our democratic dispensation. It has never happened before.
And I said,
no basis in law. Yes. I hope some constitution. I think Article 95 there also. Let me be quick to let you know how a Speaker of Parliament is supposed to be appointed. There you will know, say, it does not mention anything that gives power to the President of the Republic of Ghana. Yes, okay, Article 95. Or say, there shall be a Speaker of Parliament who shall be elected by members of Parliament. This is the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
Not the President.
Or say, there shall be a Speaker of Parliament who shall be elected by the members of Parliament from among persons who are members of Parliament or who qualifies to be members of Parliament. Nowhere.
Them some role
play. You should ni muntino. Okocho, mampanyina okocho. So no nan recommend any because who said the ranks now shall see shiki.
Jomama ye
90 na dey enfa ho dey any say. Hey, ono abatuo ya 2 ye. Wo dey hwe abatuo ni ye. Mabunu pa na so ni mutu abanama no. But wo dey hwe appointment awadi kan ye. Apart from and release and come who say philosophy ko achine ya brand here no. Hwe nyina and we can go through them. No what me mabuna ewumu. We can go through them. And mabuna mo Ghana ha mo hwe. Muntie ni ye.
Mabunu na to abama John Mahama. But woba ye no wo den kokografo na bebu man za na bezo kire.
Because why? MPP abai me my deputy minister. The youngest deputy minister I met him say be at this country has ever had. So we Francis Kefriwa.
Yeah.
Abai no mabuna supporting the panel. Ni appointment wa making nyina. Oh mabunu bia wo. Moncheme Kalistos Mahama na ana Kofi Boachi ana Prosper Bani ana omo party na se ye mampanyimfo bi he totobi kwa we dear from Rollins time ye bondi ya appointe no most of the time ya appointe no Mahama first coming ya appointe no Mahama second coming he has also been appointed. Now we are baby not to her. Yeah,
but a show be a can be and the crop of leadership I was starting an appointment I was starting.
What is suggesting say at the highest echelon, the highest echelon, John Dramani Mahama doesn't have belief and trust in the youth. And I may say all the 3 appointments I want to key now. The only youth I know room is Felix of Osukwache. That is, he is the only youth on the acting spokesperson.
But almost experience is the best teacher. Probably maybe I no share experience, one of her sentiments.
Sir. Oh, sir. There cannot be a blend whereby the youth will also learn from the experienced hands. A madu do say a cranny womb. Would a sorry? Ya pass affirmative action bill. Tell me, appointment at John Dramani Mahama Amekino, can you count more than 3 women out of about 20 people or 25 people that he has appointed already? Please go and check. Just check. On one catcher so about appointing 60 ministers we have no. Oh, you on backtrack, on backtrack. You man no quite man in backtrack. We will not allow him to do so. 120 days. Also, the be try 11. We will not allow him to backtrack. 14 days. We will you ministers. We will not allow him to backtrack. We will not. We will remind him. We will remind him. So because a chrome no or one account also campaign we didn't try, and unfortunately for us, Ghanaians also bought into some of their lies.
Mama can say intro kakra no crack kakra na dia fana.
Wouldn't pass e-levy, a IMF conditionality. Wouldn't pass a betting tax, a IMF conditionality, and super general simple so a D and tro. So first 120 days will be chum. I feel also rationalization. Sir, Ghana for me, Bunu Yan. Ranting on one street, Muchabe to a mono, or 10% no. As at 10%, and say it is because of our failure to be able to understand the challenges that we were going through as a government. I must have who say we needed to find a way to cushion up and support the government. Her time one Apoko Peace FM, he went to say something very profound there. Say DDEP for no. Yenyayan can see your macho Monfanchaye. So
pensioners, no.
So these are the people that, in my estimation, have sacrificed bigly for this country. And if there are any awards, they deserve it more than any other person. If we're able to explain that to Sam Rantianwa, would they be able to have a problem with us and go and vote against us without any basis? Just because we could try to attempt 10%. I'm telling you, Ghanaians, Ghana from Bunumunti, say, why you need say John Mohammed Bible is at 10% in everywhere. It is never possible because, yes, when we were telling you that it is part of the IMF conditionality, no, man, and on one account, also be rationalizing, no, to me, from you live with from rationalization. Just so or dear with Diagro. But these were things that we said, people thought we were lying. We were free COVID-19 waba. COVID-19 now free mobile. When you're light free, maybe the free. Public servants were still paid for about 1 year without working. A lot of them. You cannot eat your cake and have it. So at the time that we had to make sure we save lives, there should be a price to pay. The price is what we were paying. But Ghanaians punished the New Patriotic Party for those choices that we made for them. But we know, say, history will be kind to us. For us to know, say, indeed, what the New Patriotic Party did, was what is right at that time and in the circumstances.
Oral committee, no one is saying.
What is the credibility of the persons who have been elected or appointed as part of the oral committee?
Some could have credible.
Tell me, where they walk at me. So you know, Krumha. But the men can't show, but we also do anymore. You show. Your oral committee member, Baku, to make us say, where a journalist no, your friends say.
Maybe him no.
Journalist Baku.
Or to make us say,
or Tratinipa, or the train, NDC bar, now be who. And NDC by acquires a person, an oral committee member. This is a person who was threatening Magdan. Or threatening Magdan openly. That NDC bar train now be who.
That means agenda be no
matter. Oral committee member. What is the credibility of the persons who have been appointed as part of that committee? Individually. Credibility
credibility.
Oh, me say the credibility of these persons questionable.
By necessary committee, no.
Police need to be only be able to say credibility kakra one. They are going to
but who here crashing as a committee, no.
Committee
because we have Yoko, CID, Office of the Special Prosecutor.
I was on TV3 with Okujato. Asem Okujato be country me Ghana for ne say. Sa oral committee no, yenya appointed Attorney General. Omodwuma e dey abaniwe. Look at the logic. Say from time you be appointed Attorney General, say appointed Attorney General in February. After February no, there will not be any suspicion of corruption or maimha. Someone is they are immune to corruption.
But institutions, but
the institutions are still there, and you have set up that committee. You have usurped the powers of the constitutional bodies, like Yoko. You have usurped the powers of the constitutional bodies, like the CID. Why are you not going to give those information to those institutions? Now see oral committee or the
intermediate trust be no.
Aha. And Oman Penina, oh yeah you. Now actions and inactions say you don't even trust state institutions. That is even an indictment on your presidency, Obabede. It's an indictment on your presidency because the state institutions that you are going to work with, also won't trust you, sir. You don't trust the CID, sir. You don't trust Yoko. You don't trust the special prosecutor. Is that what you are telling us? No. Constitutional bodies know rights and responsibilities. Some duties are what constitution more. And no now also what the year a Jumano. What Jeff Roman said their oral committee. Some of them head politicians. Just say a political witch hunt. Do you think that an NDC member who is the head of that oral committee will go after any NDC person? He even supported and even agreed with my intention when he himself said after see our 20 age, oral committee in Egu. Yeah, 20 age we are oral committee na Egu. And this will be a could and I said there is a suspicion of corrupt acts bianwa. The oral committee is nowhere to be found. Ni na NDC abayo they will be whiter than snow for the next 4 years. Meanwhile, 80 something billion almost say it is suspicious of corruption. The mobile mabejeno amount about $183 million, which is over $3 billion or $4 billion. It has been included in that 80 billion, saying that money is suspicious of corruption. Meanwhile, all our districts are machines in this war, tipper track in this war, backhoe in this war. If you want to tell me that the amount of money I editor in this one, and I read that contract letter, and I have the contract letter. If you are buying a tipper truck for $78,000 per the contract, meanwhile, Oko Zonda, say companies almost turn tipper trucks for almost turn $82,000. Meanwhile, I buy a ton of $78,000. What's it? You're suspicious of corruption. Something that is less than market price. What's happening in our app? They are 80 billion. So, Jesus Christ. They are doing breeding penusu or chroma, and they are saying pedia to say yes, will be bokrono. Why do we do that to ourselves? Ghana and Kwani, the only country who is a politicians, denting their images, massacring their images, just on the altar of wanting political power. Meanwhile, the argument and who should be issue based. What can we do for our country? Ghana
first.
Ghana first. And so the attempt and in the past year we are suspicion. So no credibility around politicians in this country because of what politicians have been doing.
My name say one who answer what some of kuja tabra say sabi yebechu Peter Prada so Edward Kujina Mrenim because he just talk antamanto a man fu twa dwadwo no oba out the betu dwa say China for be or monam hono NDC for now.
No, cancer. Me cancer. Me go can't wait. One try me go can't wait. I have not said so anywhere.
And comment
I gave if you like an account in my estimation information I mean free the leadership of Kantamanto. Say you were branty bia sa branty no in the 2024 elections. Now or your polling agent ma NDC in the Odododio constituency.
Maybe I see I bet you joining Facebook Live here Asaasepa 107.3 with my joining and Sasia. You know Honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah lawyer any din komo utafo mrashebi joining and no a deputy minister for local government. Shannon Swams Asase 103 wo Cape Coast in the central region Asase 98.5 wo Kumasi Asase 99.7 wo Tamale in the northern region Yankee FM was Sampa 95.9 Yedamase hunyina motienka allegation. No, Mamintio, Kantamanto. Yes, who post to our page, Facebook page.
If you see something on my Facebook, and I wish that I will have the opportunity to even respond directly to what Okuda told to bring to me. me call me Facebook walla. Most of the times, and I'm posting wall.
Okay.
What you say?
Handless or handle.
Handless or handle, I don't know. Of course, they do that on my authority.
But I said your own country almost
There are a lot of times that they post without me knowing, because they are in charge. I have given them that authority. But as a lawyer, I understand when you give an authority to someone, you take the consequences. When that thing was posted there, about 18 or 19 minutes, and someone drew my attention to it, then I quickly called my assistant. Said, what have they posted there? There are times that I go there and post myself. Then quickly, I made them delete it because they themselves have not done the verification. But of course, it was on my wall. But the truth of the matter is the Kantamanto issues I'm carrying and was based on the fact that it was the NDC that engineered Kantamanto Nashero. Ah. Yes.
A January a talk Kantamanto no NDC for the church major toho.
NDC for the church because me information I pointed to one person, and that person was a polling agent to Makano Bay almost 5 days in here. The person has not come out to come and deny because when him said the mechanic no cray. Kantamanto in idea grow. Me sure so. Knows. So I'm just telling you that guy who was a polling agent for the NDC in the Odododio constituency, as far as 2024 elections here concerned, called Oboy, the Brofudin Ekow. He was given leads from before. He was given the list. Say Kantamanto no. I have said this over and over until me deny. Because he knows what I'm saying is the truth.
I cannot catch one as or can baby now so tear.
Me say what you dear grow who? You dear grow who be? The year you watch it from 2014. That's it. But
then also dear grow we a lawyer. Then the beba party or pay position when your position maybe not the same political party because there be ma yenchi na Kantamanto and she na yen science say wo man si can go back to Kantamanto.
Koshe the voter turnout. Oh Kantamanto. Koshe the voter turnout now. You will know that Nipo Moto Abahono for all these years have been voting for the New Patriotic Party. It is believed that Nipa wa Kantamanto no do na ye MPP for. Let me give you an example for you to know so what I'm saying is the truth. 2013, Anna Kantamanto market in a share no. At the time NDC for na wabemo. Na said na Tamakulu. Ma menwa you're charging for 78 counts of causing financial loss to the state in the money nano. You buano a fono. On an NACO Maslok. Kantamanto share no. Anna abano ka say omuni sika we no mo fan koma Kantamanto for no. Because it is believed that those people are MPP people ntino sika na onko e ka ho na e buano for so onko da efiase e ka ho ni buano for so onko da efiase because sika abandi ama se fa koma ejun for ma wan fa onko na offer sika no we e court na ebu of nyem na meka. But the end is for but
sir, boy now born in Kwaku as a boy out born in or do honor or your individual in your political party as NDC as a political party.
He is or he was a polling agent for the National Democratic Congress in the Odododio constituency. As far as the 2024 elections in your he also told some of his people what I say, oh, he said in your elections in the yes, this thing would go with leadership from a chief, the leadership for no. A known fact.
Here say and I say idea
I can't know for about 5 days. Hey, many about you as a perfect account on the being to me about one thing. I can say, oh, no credit. To me because say no crank America. You know, crack away meka.
Sepesha dasi enkoshi kantamanto. Ni include
who could boost them now show how much there were places I said you'll be your body jano crack or two hono. It is going to be very difficult to pass anywhere to even enter. The rate at which I will not say the extent I Janice you know I know dinner. And she does say that said that they are then to toll where we say the charge I didn't know who she nowhere to pass to enter. Nowhere to pass to enter.
But we a lawyer. Udi agro kantamanto. Uo nyuma property. Ewo kantamanto. And this all was evidence here. I didn't hear on take legal action against.
I've not been following. My trial your common IGP.
Okay.
An official letter that I've sent to the IGP. And I have the letter when I copied the IGP. In fact, I also sent it via his WhatsApp after my assistant. I called my assistant to send the letter to his office because, of course, the CID is under him, so he will commission the CID.
Okay.
To do so, the letter is here. To be sure, I've also forwarded it to Dampare, George. What I said. So the letter here says that request for investigation into the Kantamanto fire outbreak, and I gave an outline as to all the information that I have and my suspicions as to how I feel say it has a
na China for so a
men can who be men can want some beer
on China for be
China want some beer. Nobody can catch us. Facebook post that some now can. It was not about China for some. We were more than the crow, but it was not about Chinese.
Right, quickly, you share a ninth parliament. Namia Aduma Yubinya the ninth parliament. Expectations in Minyao.
Well, the expectations in the ninth parliament, and I said we are going to have a parliament that is distinct and largely distinguishable from the 8th parliament. Largely distinguishable from the 8th parliament because the numbers are entirely different. The MPP is now going into this parliament with about 88 members of parliament as compared to the 137. We used to have 169. The drop has been very phenomenal and it speaks a lot. We are saddened about it. We hope that it has never happened or it had never happened. But Anyaa-Sowutwom, Daniel Walker, Ahobrasi and your best near say no more if you're going because the normal if you're going to want your butcher in the year and the 2020 when you have the 50 MPs in the Beko Parliament and now the 20 MPs in the Beko Parliament. That will mean that the party na day Yama and Ahmad. So we the young ones in it, we are going to take the steps. We are going to show a good posturing. We are going to show some amount of maturity. We are going to show so much love for our party so that our party will be able to have some amount of akono or say party no
it's attractive.
Attractive. What I say the bear able to me about their party no because the New Patriotic Party has been a party and now who to the extent say Obiani say if you want to leave the reins of government for any party in this country no be in a year MPP Amanyoko that credibility is washing away but it doesn't mean the work has not been done. Work in the year but we have or we may have to get some amount of time and send a Jumedia idea no Ghana for who say ampa yet made the Jumedia a Ghana for
right don't we be Jamwako but Assafuah then I know be share because I'm 40 or Asase 98.5 for Kumasi. Let me too.
And I see I'm the Mamo when Munyamsha Omodia Shamir Sir Brantier at the age of 29 Omoto Obama may say me parliamentary candidate at the age of 30 me run me shebi demo almost so me one be sisa amri me mre ye wo ho me fom so wo ho me me ye papa so wo ho. In all of this they take it in good faith omodna abotre etnentre me dane me and I know say the omode masha say me say the right time no omoni be wi. I am also saying that I'm not going to disappoint them. They have given me the mandate. It's a social contract that they've signed with me. And that social contract that they've signed with me, it is their anticipation that I will use it to the betterment of the people of Assafuah. Intimi do mwase, wo do mayama me. Bujigi say mekoso na me di dwumadi the amount of people of Assafuah constituency. Right,
yes, you better say Honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah Assafuah mrashibujani no da kwan se ne na kunwa na no teso no obesi atena so but unfortunately one tena Edom Kissi numbio wobeba Edom kumanum yetwa husuma ba ye ba enkomo ewo bia no ye bebredi kan ka che o se ene and a knife parliament no yebo wosu na fe wahye wodwuma se woti enka wona wo Cape Coast ti enka e wa asase 103 e wo Cape Coast in the central region asase 98.5 e wo Kumase asase 99.7 wo Tamale in the northern region Yankee FM 95.9 wo Sampa Jama North Bono ye bedam ase twa husuma ba medin de Bonohene ba afo abo me ba ye beto aso.
Atumpan. Cheniakasa. Atumpan. Atumpan. Cheniakasa. Atumpan. Atumpan. Cheniakasa. Atumpan. Atumpan. Cheniakasa. Atumpan. Three. Asaasepa.